News is crazy, right? Check this out. Anti-woke dad who fled with family to Russia sent to the war zone. Man, can't make this stuff up. Josh Fiallo says he can't make this stuff up because he's reporting the news. This is from the Daily Beast, right? Let's skip ahead. An American father who moved to Russia to avoid the LGBTQ plus indoctrination for his kids is being sent to the front line against Ukraine, despite being assured he would serve in a non-combat role. Now, he felt that this all this woke stuff going on, a lot of this DEI, all this trash is just too overwhelming. Let me take my family somewhere where there's wholesome values and a great system, that's gonna make sure a man is a man and a woman is a woman, which is all great things, you know. But it got extreme. This extreme. Derrick Huffman, 46, feels he is being thrown to the wolves before being told that his job in the military would be a correspondent or a welder. His wife, Deanna, said in a recorded plea for prayers, which has since been removed from her YouTube page. Later on, we're going to go into our YouTube page and see what that's about. But Huffman has no prior military experience. That leaves him at a disadvantage. And from what it's saying, he had limited training and it was done in Russian. Now, of course, that's a handicap because he's not Russian. See how this works? I think this is unfair. Maybe somebody should step in, especially somebody from the embassy. I forgot the guy's name that was going over there. The real estate guy. He should go over there and talk to Putin to get this man off the front dang line. Suggested that this language barrier has made her husband particularly unprepared for the horrors of combat. Unfortunately, when you're taught in a different language and you don't understand the language, how are you really getting taught? Thrown to the wolves. Huffman joined the military in the hopes of gaining Russian citizenship. Same thing goes on in Israel. If you go there, I think you got to take 7 years in the Israeli army before you gain full citizenship. Well, the citizenship they'll give for his family through an expedited process. He also felt such service would allow him to earn the respect of his new countrymen, which is something to be once said migrants in the United States refuse to do. Yeah, because they're lazy, right? They don't get anything done, and they don't respect the troops. Even though there's a large population of said immigrants that, they were able to go through the process and then become servicemen and women. Well, that's getting excommunicated. That's getting xed out the army as well. Just seeing that the first naval, was the naval admiral, first woman naval admiral, just got removed. Okay, yeah, whatever. The point of this act for me is to earn a place here in Russia. He told the Russian state media last month. If I risk myself for our new country, no one will say that I am not a part of it. Unlike migrants in America who come here just like that, do not assimilate, and at the same time want free handouts. Damn them. The undocumented migrants cannot join the U.S. military during peacetime, a program launched by former President George W. Bush, staunch Republican. I know you remember George Bush, right? Yeah, okay. Allowed such immigrants to seek citizenship by serving in the military, but that pathway was shuttered during who? President Donald Trump's first term. So, George Bush was like, okay, you're an immigrant, you want to get some citizenship, serve in the military. Be all that you can be. And then Once you've done that service, you can come in. You got full citizenship. We know you're fully invested. Donald Trump says no, not at all. Not standing for it. Deanna, 42, suggested her husband had been misled during the military recruiting process. She added that after a month of service, her family had yet to receive any pay. I think this is very unfair. I think this is very dangerous too. This man, limited access or limited understanding of the language, limited training under false pretenses, thought he was going to be there as a correspondent or welder, now thrown to the front lines of an active war where you're actually, shooting missiles and using drones and hand-to-hand combat. Well, the guy's 46. When he signed up and had all that done, he was told he would not be training for 2 weeks and going straight to the front lines. Where is the ambassador? I gotta get his name. She said, but it seems as though he is getting one of more week of training closer to the front lines, and when they are going to put him on the front lines after that week training. Here is the wonderful Hoffman's. I hope you can see a little bit of it as I scroll through. This is a devastating case. I feel for the family. I kind of do, yeah. Cause let's say he was seeking a different way for his family. He thought this was a solid structure, and they would, stick to the code. They have their army already. You don't need me to do too much. I would like to join on the outskirts. I don't think I'm gonna get deployed to the front lines without training. Huffman moved his family to a rural village outside Moscow this spring. It was launched by American blogger Tim Kirby, who has lived in Russia for 2 decades, in 2023 to attract Americans seeking to escape the liberal gender norm. I'm sure you don't want to be one of those letter and alphabet people. Come over to Russia with this little community. Tim Curry. That project has been a flop, with United 24 Media reporting that only 2 families, including the Huffmans, have moved in. Huffman, a native Texan. Yeah, a native Texan. He brought his wife, 3 daughters, and their family husky baby with him to Russia. The couple also has 3 sons from prior marriages who opted to remain in the United States. Sons, it's time to get your dad. Time to get him. I don't know how you're going to do it. Get a Russian envoy. Use all your networking channels. Get this man back to the great USA. Who's the envoy? What's going to be the envoy? It's going to represent him coming back. Somebody has to stop this madness. Huffman's admiration for Russia runs deep. The Russian state-operated news agency RIA Novosti reported last month that the couple honeymooned in Moscow. The city charmed us with its rich history, vibrant culture, and welcoming atmosphere, Deanna said, told the outlet. Before that, we figured out whether moving to Russia would fit our family's needs and values. However, it wasn't until we saw Moscow in person that we truly felt a connection. Deanna said that she was not surprised that her husband wanted to volunteer for the Russian military, even as it was in its 3rd year of bloody war with Ukraine. Ukrainian officials estimated this week that over 1 million Russian soldiers have been killed in the conflict, which continues to rage on despite Trump's demands for peace. Peace. Who will go over? Dolph Lundgren played Drago in Rocky 4. Sylvester Stallone is friends with Donald J. Trump. He can talk to Dolph. Dolph, please get Huffman and his family over here before he is thrown to the Ukrainian wolves. It didn't come as a surprise to me. He said that of joining the military. He always spoke so highly of the country, its president, its people, and has a strong passion for doing the right thing. You can find the rest of this on the Daily Beast. I think this is a terrible story of FAFO. If you agree, I'm sure not going to see this all over the place. So, give respects to Josh Fiallo. Great story. Check out Deanna Huffman's YouTube page. Yeah, the recorded pre for players has been since removed. And prayers for Derrick Huffman, who just chose to get away from the liberal, commie, yucky side, go over there just to receive limited training in a war that is just unbearable, and just we need to seek peace. Man, what's the ambassador's name? I'm done. Welcome to the Sunspot.